NYPA, it's time to start the show, so search for the squad and listen out for the promo with the West Wild Spitter spinners web into a chokehold. Make it unfold, 5 o'clock. Who gives a damn of what your man to say? We spittin' live wireless, leave them shot with the gamma ray. Ain't no runner-up, cause it ain't the closest to candidate. I flock you deep and you draw like Japanese anime. It's just us and the rest, news off the hottest press. Kyle Horton, Philly West, reppin' with the legends, classic interview session, politics, sports segment, live phone, call up with question, it's the NYPA, 95 connection, real people, ain't no scripted cue call for directions, just team on their grind time till it's all perfection, throw it past the satellite so you can catch reception, so touch ground with us, we kill challenges, a murder bit for every number on your calendars, from west to the boogie down the Greyhound in this, we Google Spot, Anchor Podcast, pocket this.
Welcome everyone to another episode of NYPA Entertainment Radio live here on Riverside.fm. Thank you for joining me today in this week's episode. And remember, if you're watching me on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and you get notifications when an episode of NYPA Entertainment Radio will come on. I have the audio version, I have the video version. You got me on Spotify, audio-wise, you got the video-wise, so you have your plethora of choices and more platforms to come for the final season of NYPA Entertainment Radio. As I'm recording this, it is Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to the mothers everywhere, and fathers who step in and do the mother roles, and we appreciate everyone who does that. I'm not going to go into my annual Mother's Day, Father's Day rant that I do every year here on the show. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go into how there's parades and balloons and glitter falling out the skies, and everywhere I go in the city of Philadelphia, on the street corner, there's a vagrant that sets up a table with gaudy flowers and baskets to celebrate Mother's Day. Then come June, there's no one out there. It's just no one. I'm not going into all that and how women think on Father's Day morning they can roll over, a little waka waka, a little hoo-hoo, that it's okay. That's their Father's Day gift. I'm not going to go into all that. I'm not going to go in that rant. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go on and how fathers need to be more appreciated now because, a lot of men are stepping up, married or not, stepping in for the kids, and they don't get their just dues. They don't get their balloons. Literally, don't get their balloons. I'm not going to do that. I'm not. I'll just go start the show. And I'm just, I'm not going to say nothing like that. I'm just. You cheer, you clap. I'm right. I digress. I digress. I digress. I'm not going to do it, though. You egg me on with the cheers and applause. I don't know. I started my original rant like years ago. I just got mad because I would just okay, thank you. I would just see it every Mother's Day on Sundays. At like these stands here in Philadelphia. Like I see it all week now. And on the corner, some vagrant, illegally or legally or something, want to buy Family Dollar's worth of baskets, gaudy baskets for mothers. But then come June, there's no one around. Like I don't understand that. Why not? There are good fathers. And the funny thing is, these cats are probably fathers. So it's like you're not going to do it for the same thing for men. There are men, like I like to get gifts. Give me a sports jersey, sports memorabilia. Give me a game. Give me a nice watch. I'll take a balloon. I'll take a card. I'll take a gift card. You know what I'm saying? Saying, hey, happy Father's Day. You're a real one. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of cats out there, married or not. Y'all know what I mean. Y'all, you know it. But I ain't going to go in hard this year. I'm lighting up. give you a softer side of KG, and I'm going to continue with the show as if, hey, it's all love and all that good stuff. And it is. So happy Mother's Day. And don't forget, in June, the fathers need to get an actual gift. Not just a little waka waka, the ho ho. That should not be annual gift. It comes with the package in the relationship, comes with the package when you get married. So it shouldn't be like, I gave him the and I wrote up. No, no. That should happen all the time. That's just whatever. That's just what it should be. You know what I mean? So, anywho, you see my shirt? See the shirt here? It says, "Sorry, ladies, I'm already like a brother to someone else." Yeah. See, guys out there, you good guys know the single ones, you know what I mean. You hear this line, "Oh, you're like a brother to me. You just like a brother to me," and then all of some jackass losers. You know what I'm saying? So I got the shirt here. It says, "Sorry, ladies, I'm already like a brother to someone else." You like that? I think it's nice. It sends a message out. Stop them right there before you open your mouth and say something stupid. Read the shirt. It says that. Now turn around and take your ass down the road. You like that? So, yeah, cool. All right, let's begin. I came across an article recently on Terrence Howard, and he passed up the role of Marvin Gaye in the Marvin Gaye biopic. He was on uh, Bill Maher show, a little podcast, and he was asked about. He brought up him playing Marvin Gaye, and this is the story because it gets interesting the comments he made, and then there's like a little story afterwards that Quincy Jones says back in 2018, another interview. So Terrence Howard has revealed the line that he refuses to cross when it comes to choosing roles. The Empire alum divulges the info while telling Club Random host Bill Maher about the biggest mistake he ever made in his career. The story began with Motown pioneer Smokey Robinson, who Howard claims invited him to dinner years ago because he wanted me to play his life in a movie. Howard said his great regret was turning Robinson down, explaining that he only did so because he was already in conversations with Lee Daniels about playing Marvin Gaye in a separate project. Maher chimed in to say that Howard made the right choice, arguing that Gaye's life is much more interesting. He added, "You would have been perfect as Marvin Gaye, and that is a story that needs to be told." But in the end, Howard portrayed neither of the legendary musicians, sharing that he stepped back from the Gaye project when he discovered how the singer's sexuality would be explored. I was over at Quincy Jones' house and I'm asking Quincy, I'm hearing rumors that Marvin Gaye was gay. And I'm like, was he gay? Howard recalled, and Quincy said yes. From there, Howard decided that he could not play the role. Quote, they would wanted me to do that. I wouldn't have been able to do that. He said of portraying the gay relationship. You mean you couldn't kiss a guy on screen in a movie? Mar asked. To which Howard replied, "No, because I don't fake it. I couldn't kiss a man either." Mar said. Howard took it further, adding, that would have fucked me. I would cut my lips off if I kissed a man. I would cut my lips off. This gave Mar pause, with the host quickly clarifying that while he would not while he while he would not go to the same drastic lengths, he understands Howard's rejection of the role. He added, "It does not make me homophobic not to want to kiss a man." As for Howard, he explained that it was a matter of authenticity in the performance. "I can't play the character 100%. The actor said, I can't surrender myself to a place that I don't understand." Representative Howard did not immediately respond to the comments. Gaye, a two-time Grammy winner and songwriter, legend, did not explicitly state his sexuality, but was married twice in his life, to Anna Gordy for 10 years and Janice Hunter for 5 years. 2018 interview, uh, fellow pillar of Motown music Quincy Jones, claimed that Gaye was among many famous men with whom actor Marlon Brando had intimate relationship with. Brando used to go cha 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 dance with us. He could dance his ass off. He was the most charming motherfucker you ever met, Jones said. He fucked anything. He fucked a mailbox. James Baldwin, Richard Pryor, Marvin Gaye. When interview asked how Jones knew that they slept together, he said of Brando, "Come on, man. He did not give a fuck." I've heard that story before. I've seen that. I've seen that interview. Um, I've seen that interview around that timeline. He said that. Now, the interesting thing is, I mean, no one's here to kind of back that up, uh, confirm everything. Marlon Brando's along with us, Marvin Gaye, Richard Pryor, James Baldwin, Quincy Jones, even. But that's not the point of the whole article. The article is what Terrence Howard said. My thing is this: you have your beliefs, whatever. I get that, but it's acting. It's not real. You're playing a character. Now, no one said you're going to kiss a man on screen. You assumed. You assume it. I'm sure it didn't say in the script. Maybe it did, but it's not real. You're telling a story. You're an actor. You're not really kissing these women in the movies. You're not really making love to these women in the movies. You're not really married to them or physically abuse. You're not doing that. It's a performance. It's acting 101. You're faking it. You're whatever. It's part of the art. Um, you know, like, you fully can't get into it. So you fully can get into being a pimp from Memphis. You know, hustle and flow. You can so you know you can get to the mind of a pimp, but you never pimped before. Anyway, I'm just saying it's acting, and if that scared you off that he allegedly was, then say it. But to go as far as saying you cut your lips off, I think it's a little drastic. It's acting. Now I'm saying all this in the car. Would you have done it? Yeah, I'm acting. The script is good, money's right, crew's together, director. It's acting. It's not real. It's fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Just do the damn thing. So, you know, allegedly that's the reason why he turned it down. And that movie never got made. Period. But I think he would have made a better Smokey Robinson because he kind of had a little more like Smokey Robinson, the complexion and everything, than Marvin Gaye. But I'm just saying, I think that was just I don't know. I think that's just a stupid reason because it's not real. It's just no one said you had to do that. You're assuming, but no one really said it. So that part, I don't understand. I really don't. Moving on. I got some few stuff here. Let's see. I have some Kanye stuff and some Diddy Combs. All right, so Sean Diddy Combs rejects plea deal ahead of sex trafficking trial. Sean Diddy Combs, a couple of Thursdays ago, formally rejected a government offer to plead guilty and spare himself the possibility of a prolonged prison sentence. "Quote, yes I do, Your Honor," Combs said after Judge mess up the name, Aaron Subramanian asked him whether he uh, rejected the offer federal prosecutors made. Combs, 55, is scheduled to stand trial beginning soon. I think this coming Monday with the selection on charges of racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, prostitution, the alleged coerce women into prolonging sexual encounters. He called free calls. Marine Maureen Comey, an assistant United States attorney, said a guilty plea would have reduced the amount of prison time Combs will be exposed to compared to a trial conviction on all counts, which could result in what is effectively a life sentence. Combs came to court in a beige jail uniform. He smiled and hugged his attorneys and gave a fist pump to one of them. Um, Let me stop right there. Let me stop right there. Um, no, and actually, let me finish this up before I state my statement. His attorney Wow, these names are difficult. Tene Garagos raised concerns during the brief conference about statements Los Angeles-based attorney Lisa Bloom, who represents at least two of Combs' civil accusers, made about the case to a documentary. We're concerned with her behavior here. These names are difficult. Subsumerian said remind all counsel witnesses to adhere to the rules of professional conduct and court rules about potentially prejudicial statements that could infringe the Combs Combs right to trial. Now I'll stop there. What's interesting about this, I'm sorry, I butchered a lot of names, and these names are difficult. So it looked like I'm trying to read the names, and I'm like, what? What's interesting, they already, I think by this time, because this is maybe a year, day or two old, like maybe a week old, and I'm just getting to, that they had a hard time putting the jury together, and nevertheless, this is going to be a very interesting summer to come. He's deciding to go to trial, and it is, man, I get to see it's going to get crazy. He's fighting for his rights. He as anyone would or should do, but it's going to get crazy. I can just see it now. Like the allegations is coming up. You have the documentaries, all this stuff. So I think it's going to be up there because although there's no murders involved, it's kind of like an OJ thing with the being just bigger than life figure in the spotlight. And in the summertime, ain't nothing really going on. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely know once this thing starts, it's gonna be it's gonna be talked about because it's summertime is slow. It's usually a slow news season, and this is the only thing that's going on. Everybody's gonna be talking about it. Everybody's gonna be like, it's a lot of stuff gonna really come out. We ain't see anything yet. It's gonna get crazy in my opinion. So it's kind of like get your popcorn ready because I really think throughout this whole summer it's going to be we're going to hear some things and see some things about it. It just now started. Forget about the documentaries and all that stuff. You going to testify in court? I mean, like he's facing a life sentence, and he's not taking a plea deal. That's saying a lot, and he's risking it all. And it's going to get very, very interesting, very fast. Moving on, I got some Kanye stuff here. A couple of Kanye things. This one in particular is from John Legend. All right. Kanye's sad, shocking descent came after his mother's died, says former collaborator John Legend. John Legend said, it is sad, sometimes shocking to to look now at the former collaborator Kanye West, who played an instrumental role in Legend's musical breakthrough 20 years ago. The pair worked together on Legend's breakthrough album Get Lifted, with West handling the exclusive production as well as co-producing the album alongside Dave Tozer, Will I Am, and Devo Springsteen. Legend, oh, hear that? My voice cracked like I was going through puberty. Legend has signed to West's Good Music label, and the latter also appeared on the album, which went on to sell 3 million copies, win 3 Grammy Awards, and make Legend's name as an artist. West was already a star himself with the hit album The College Dropout. Well, I think it's one of his best albums. 20 years later, Legend has described West during that fertile creative period as passionate, gifted, and had big dreams for himself and the people around him. West has encountered his widespread controversy in recent years, from selling T-shirts adorned with swastika logos to wearing a black Ku Klux Klan hood in public. He has previously been banned from the platform X for some of his offensive statements. Legend told the Times, "quote I didn't see a hint of that. I didn't see the hint of what we're seeing now. His obsession with anti-Semitism and blackness, and it's so sad to see his uh, devotion. Yeah, to see his devotion. Leslie suggested the death of West's mother in '07 was instrumental in his shift of focus. I don't think we're qualified to psychoanalyze him, but after his mother passed in '07, there was definitely a difference. His descent started then and seems to have accelerated recently. The Lifted, which legend is now taken on tour to mark its 20th anniversary, contains songs about infidelity and harked back to Motown classics. I was 25 when the album was made, and I was experiencing life as a young man, a young bachelor. I had cheated, felt guilty about it, but I dramatized real events to make them more romantic or thrilling. She Don't Have to Know is a soap opera. I don't think my life was ever that interesting. A lot of people said the same thing. Um, about after his mother passed away in '07 that you can see the decline, that you see there was a difference. Um, Again, I always say I'm not a doctor. I don't know, but we're not blind. We can see something happened. Something happened where it just he did decline. Something messed with his mental. Some say he blamed himself for her death. I think she went for surgery that he paid for, and that it caused her to get sick and pass away. This is what I'm hearing. Some are saying that's what he carries with him is that guilt. I don't know him. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. This is what I'm hearing. However, you can see where where he was prior to her death and where he is after her death. Is just what is he doing? Why is he saying this? Why is he acting out this way? Why is he doing this, that, and the other? And I have a couple of companion pieces in here on Kanye because every week it's just something I come across which is interesting about West. For example, I have a let me see. Ye storms off as Piers Morgan get his followers count wrong. Ye storms out of interview after Piers Morgan gets followers count wrong. Quote, where's he gone? Okay. All right. So Ye's interview with Piers Morgan went from uncensored to unfinished in a blink of an eye. The rapper formerly known as Kanye West joined the British media personality this past Tuesday for an episode of Piers Morgan Uncensored, but he only lasted a few minutes before abruptly storming off camera. Morgan began the conversation by asking Ye how he was doing, to which Ye, joined by influencers Sneeko, pointed out that the scenic backdrop of Majorca, Spain. Quote, you see that view, he said, judge me by the view. Morgan observed how relaxed and happy Ye appeared and suggested that was in direct contrast to the public image. But before he could get to his question, Ye interrupted. I already disagree, he said. It, it's not a contrast. There's so many people and artists that are championing the idea of someone being able to just express who they really are and have been able to go through the war of being attacked by the banks and to still be here with the view with this view with this view is that's the win. So I think I'm in contrast to your contrast. This is what he said. Morgan attempted to get back to his question and started to ask about Ye's controversial social media post. Quote, I watch you put out on X. You have 32 million followers, the host began. You're one of the most followed people. Now look, right now, you're not going to take inches off my dick, bro. Ye interjected. Like, how many followers do I have? Well, how many is it? Morgan asked. You you can do the study. You got a whole staff over there. Ye countered. Morgan then checked the numbers with a staffer and corrected himself. I'm told it's 33 million, he said. So congratulations, you have a slightly bigger follower than I thought. No, congratulations, that's your information is correct, Ye said. Then he launched into a rant. I'm a gift, bro. Why all of you people in media act like you haven't played my songs at your weddings or graduations or at funerals or when your child was born? The nuance right there is idiotic. It just shows the hate that you put out for people that put love. There's so much love in the art I put out. Morgan was taken back, cutting in to ask, "What are you talking about? I haven't said anything." Ye then accused the host of not taking accountability for his mistake. When Morgan tried to respond, Ye cut him off, saying, "This is what you get. This is what you get for now. We can circle back when you can count." The rapper then removed his earpiece, walked off camera, leaving Sneeko beside an empty seat. Sneeko. Now, Sneeko is Sneako. Sneeko. Man's name is Sneeko. I thought that's on his birth certificate, but they call him Sneeko. Where's he going, Sneeko? Morgan asked. As if for Ye, Sneeko said. I think he's going back to work. There's several things he's working on, he added. I was not aware of that he was going to leave like this. Sneeko then accused Morgan of being patronizing for no reason by misstating Ye's followers count about introducing him as Ye West, arguing that the artist has been very public about only going by Ye. This information is not that difficult to get right now. Morgan has since taken to social media to voice his displeasure over the brief chat. An interview with Kanye West again today. He wrote on Instagram, as I expected, given that I've said about him recently, it didn't last long or go well. Alongside a photo of Ye, he added, "This was him right before he stomped off like a big baby before I could ask him why he become a vile, Hitler-loving, Nazi-slathering, anti-Semitic prick." I spit on the camera. Sorry. Morgan also acknowledged he botched the botched interview on X, writing, "They literally ran away from me asking them questions. It was historic cowardness." Ooh, boy. Crazy. Wow. You cannot make this up. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. I'm not making this up because you can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Uh, how do in this situation, people's, I don't even know where to begin with this. He did read an article, and then I looked at the clip. He did snap on him. It was uh, a mistake. He got his count wrong. He got his count wrong. Um, this outburst does not help Kanye at all. It really doesn't. And you kind of scratch your head on, like, why are you snapping on him? What did he say? He got his count wrong, and you got mad. It wasn't like he said something like really horrific. He count was he just got your followers wrong, and he got mad. And then Sneeko adds his 2 cents in. Where this guy come from? Sneeko. And Sneeko, you shouldn't have. You called him Ye West. Everyone knows you gotta call him Ye. Yeah, he gets mad. You want him mad? I don't want him mad. I need a job. I'm Sneeko. I'm his little minion, Sneeko. I like to say the word Sneeko. Um, it just doesn't look good. What was interesting is that it was crazy. Outside of his antics, Kanye West is a very, very, very talented person. You cannot deny that. You just can't deny it at all. He's very talented. And it incenses me when I see him act this way, and it's kind of like shake your head like, brother, come on, man. Just fall back, make your money, and keep it moving. Just just do that. Make your music, stay off the grid, the whole nine. And I don't understand. I don't get why he do what he do. And I'm saying I'm not trying to defend it, but it's I don't know. It's kind of like damn. It's it's kind of sad and it's weird. And you kind of chuckle at it, like yo, is he serious right now? But he's serious. He is serious. You know. Some may say a small percentage may say it might be a publicity ploy for him to kind of get attention and like whatever. But it maybe was a way for him to avoid the hard hitting questions that he's going to Piers Morgan, which I'm familiar with his interview style, is going to ask. We all have questions. Why are you Hitler loving, anti Semitic, Ku Klux Klan? Like, why? I want to hear why. You know, what's the reason behind it? Why are you saying these vile things and supporting these vile individuals and all that stuff? Like, why? What's your end game? What's the purpose? Maybe he was deflecting. Maybe he knew Piers was going to ask that. Maybe he's trying to find a way to get out of it. And he maybe had this whole plan the whole time. Like, I'm just going to disrupt the whole thing and walk off you know what I mean, to avoid the questions that Piers Morgan was going to ask him, but it didn't make him look good. It made him look like a coward. It made him look like a fool. He just stormed off and was like, why did you storm off? Like, what did he didn't say. He said, what are you talking about? He going on a rant. And that's Piers Morgan, like, what are you talking about? You just, my music is this, isn't it? And he really didn't say anything. So it does make it just makes him look bad, man. It's just kind of you chuckle, you shake your head, and you kind of just like, damn. Then you kind of feel bad, like, damn, this dude, all that talent. He's very talented. I'm never gonna take that away from him. And again, I'm not a like John Legend said, I'm not a doctor. Neither a lot of you who might be watching are not. Some of you may be. Um, I'm not going to sit here and just say, "Oh, you got mental health issues." I mean, that's the easy thing to say is that he does. That's obvious. Press that button, and yeah, he does. Um, but I don't know. It's you. He just gets worse. My advice, I would say, is just fall back, man. Like I said, make your music, fall back, focus on your kids, get your life together, just stay off the grid, and then that's it. Just do what you got to do because you're hurting yourself at the end of the more. The funny thing, the more he opens his mouth, the worse things become because he's making it worse for himself. Like, I got seeing the controversial stuff, and it's not helping. It's really not. It's not helping at all. Sean Kingston asks court to approve one night trip for Summerfest performance before sentencing. Sean Kingston is requesting special permission from a federal judge to leave South Florida briefly so he can perform at Summerfest 2025 in Milwaukee. The request comes just weeks after the artist, whose legal name is Kaishawn Anderson, was convicted, on multiple federal charges related to a fraud case involving over $1 million. According to documents, it was provided. Documents that was provided. Kingston legal team submitted a formal motion asking the court to allow him to travel for the high-profile festival experience. The singer has been on home detention since April following the conviction on 6 federal counts, including conspiracy and wire fraud. In the court documents, Kingston attorney, I'm going to butcher this name and I sincerely apologize, Zajeka Bozanik, detailed the difficulties he faced trying to earn a living under the current restrictions. Quote, Mr. Anderson has not been able to produce income since being placed on home detention since most of the job offers include appearing at concerts outside of our district. Bozanic said Kingston's financial situation has become increasingly strained due to his inability to travel for performances, I should say. What's more, Kingston and his mother's Janice Turner was found guilty of participating in a fraud operation that targeted high-end retailers. The scheme reportedly involved using falsified wire transfer confirmations and forged paperwork to acquire luxury items ranging from jewelry and cars to electronics without payment. A jury handed down the guilty verdict on March 28th of this year, convicting Kingston of one of counts, of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and 5 counts of wire fraud. He was released on bond in mid-April under strict conditions, including GPS monitoring and a ban on leaving the Southern District of Florida. His lawyers are trying hard, emphasizing that the Summerfest experience is a legitimate and contractual commitment, not a party or nightclub. They argue that the opportunity could help Kingston restore the finances while honoring a professional obligation. The motion also notes that Kingston is willing to submit a detailed itinerary and report to his probation officer before and after the trip. Kingston is currently facing a possible sentence up to 20 years for each count, while sentencing is scheduled for August 15th, 2025. Well, what's interesting about that is what I'm going to say. Was it worth it pulling the scheme that you and your mom did? The electronics and the payments and all that stuff. Was it worth it? Because now you are begging and pleading to work legally, meaning going to performances and stuff like that. If you have not knowingly done this, you could have been packing your bags, heading to Milwaukee to perform and doing other shows. But for some reason, your greed, along with your mother, you decided to con people out of this and do all that. And the question I have is why? And I hope one day there is an interview where you get to ask them, or what made you do that? Why? Why did you do that? Like you and your mom is serving time practically for the rest of her life in prison. You can't see her ever again because she's not getting out. You might be going to prison. You can't visit her. I think there's no contact. If I'm correct, is you're a convicted felon. She's a convicted felon. So how are you? Got to be really hurting you. But again, my question is like, was it worth it? Was it worth it to scam and con people and do all that stuff? Was it worth it? You know what I'm saying? Because now there's a possibility you won't be able to um, work yourself. Now, do I think they're going to give it to him? I think they will, in my opinion. I think they will. Do I think he should? Do I think they should? I say no. Like, no, man, punishment fit the crime, homie. You got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though August, 3 months from now, we'll find out how much time you're gonna spend behind bars. In August, I think they will, but I think you don't. Like, dude, you need to be like you knew what you were doing. You wasn't conned to anything. You and your mom knew what you was doing. You knew exactly what you signed off on it. You scammed. It was like if you were my thing. What my thing is, all of a sudden these jobs are coming in for you that you go to perform. Why didn't you just stick with that before? Why didn't you just live off of that? Why did you have to do a little extra and steal? Because that's a form of stealing and conning people out of electronics and jewelries and cars and like like I don't know. Not trying to be judgmental, y'all, but I have no sympathy for him because you you screwed over a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? You screwed them over for what? Your own greed. You and your mom's own greed. So at the end of the day, it's like, well, this is the consequences of you being greedy. Consequences of you conning people and stealing people. Um, so again, I think they will with real strict provisions. In my opinion, I don't think they should. It sounds harsh, but that, again, it's my opinion, and I think, like I said, you didn't care about anyone else's feelings when you and your mom was conning them out of $1 million, up to $1 million. Why should anyone have leniency for you so you can go the honest way? Now, all of a sudden you want to be honest, where you will scam people left and right. That's funny to me. Now that is laughable. So, but we'll find out coming August. That's another thing that's gonna be interesting in August. It's gonna come out now. It's not as big as the Diddy situation, but it's going to hit how long he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail, how many years, because the sentencing is scheduled for August. So we're going to find out, how many years he's going to end up doing. And the question is going to be, was it worth it when you're a young cat where you could have been performing freely, traveling freely, not a care in the world. Now you guys beg for permission for the next couple of months to try to make ends meet. And, and if you do go, it's very strict restrictions. You can't do this, you can't do that. There's no way to live. But you brought this on yourself. So we'll see come August what the sentencing is going to be. It's going to be a crazy hot summer when it comes to these celebrity cases. Diddy's the bigger one, Sean King's is the smaller one, but I'm gonna have a lot to talk about on the show. I got one more. Future Metro Boomin and Kendrick Lamar sued over like that diss track. So Future Metro Boomin, Kendrick Lamar has been sued over unpaid royalties relating to a sample used on Drake's diss track Like That. Rodney O, whose song Everlasting Bass is sampled on the chart topper, is also suing the estate of Barry White, who is sampled on the Like That remix by none other than Kanye West. Oops, better call him Ye, for he storms out of this article that I'm reading. Rodney is claiming that he has not been paid royalties from the song and that a proper release was never secured for the sample. He also criticized being left off the songwriting credits for the track when it was submitted to the Grammys and that he was not given the version that featured Lamar's inflammatory verse. A representative for Metro Boomin told this article that they did obtain the rights to the sample and pay Rodney O $50,000. The rep also offers that Rodney's issue should be focused on the estate of Barry White, who may be holding up royalties payments through their relationship with Epic Records. The estate of Barry White has yet to comment on the suit. Last year, Rodney O spoke about clearing the samples for the hit song, and I quote, he said, "It is crazy because the song was big when it came out, and for it to be even bigger now, all these years later, is crazy. I heard the song, I knew it was good, but when it comes out and the world hears it, how you hear it and react to the way you reacted to it, that's confirmation." Quote, he continues, "Every song that I've cleared, they sent to me prior, and I've been able to check it out. A lot of people have used the same sample in the past, but when I heard, like that, I was like, they totally demolished it." His claim that he did not hear the song in full also appears true, as he said at the time, quote, "Somebody called me the day before it came out and said, 'Hey man, I got some news for you. I actually heard Kendrick is on the record.' And I was like, 'No, Kendrick ain't on that record because I have it. I have it. Songs now they'll be 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So when I heard it, I'm like, that's the whole song.' So I said he might be on a remix or something like that. That's what I'm thinking." Here's the thing, which is confusing um, about the music industry, is is nothing written on a contract anymore? Is everything like a handshake deal? Do you just like spit in each other's hand and shake on it? Like, why is this issue with people not knowing what they're getting paid and not confused? And like, why is this not cleared up prior to anything happening? All monies and stuff like that should be sorted out prior to the song itself drop. That's the way I'm thinking. I find it kind of interesting that it doesn't happen that way. It's just it just appears that they do the song, um, and it or that they'll say, yeah, we'll pay you X amount of dollars, and then like, all right, they do the track, drop the track, and the producer or whoever they sample a song from doesn't get the money. They don't get their money. They get the money afterwards, or how can I say this? It's like they sign off on it prior to payment. Because for him, it was like, no, that's not him on the track. That's not. I heard it. That's so and so. And it's like there's a mix up somewhere where I would think on paper, it'd be like, all right, you release a track to us for X amount of dollars. This person should give you this person should give you that. And all monies should be, in my opinion, exchanged prior to the project dropping out. So it shouldn't be finger pointing where it's like, hey, you got to deal with this company. Hey, you got to deal with Barry White's company. You got to deal with this estate. You got to deal with that estate. I don't understand that. It's a weird dynamic where you're not getting paid for your services up front or immediately after it's done. I don't get that. You don't go to a barbershop and he cut your hair and then you walk out and then like 3 months later to a year he sues you because you never paid for that haircut. You know what I mean? Or go to a dry cleaner, check your clothes, you don't pay for it. Anything with services. You know what I mean? You don't go to the supermarket, grab your food and walk out, and supermarket comes after you later on, but like, yeah, he paid for that tomato sauce. And, he said he would. We shook our head, and he shook hands, and like, I don't understand. You paid for your service. You paid for service. So I don't, especially in the industry, when there's big money involved, it's not on paper. Like, I got my lawyer, like, let me write this out. You owe me X amount of dollars. I want it paid up front. You can sample it, whatever. Like, how you want to use it, and that's fine. But pay me, whoever else is involved, whoever voice is on there. Let's clear it with their estate. If it's my beat and somebody else is singing over that beat, before we do anything, let's clarify X, Y, and Z. Let's clear it so I get my money, they get their money, whatever. You can do what you want with it. Everybody's paid, everybody's happy, you can move on. And I find it weird that everyone is pointing fingers and there's no money. Like, oh well, his dispute's not with us. We gave him this. You gotta talk to this guy over here. So I'm like, whatever happened to lawyers and paperwork? You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to that? Like, you have to to look, to turn on your lights, to turn on gas and water, you got to read through a lot of shit just to agree. So you telling me for someone who's going to pay 50 G's or more for a beat that there's no paperwork involved at all? It's just a handshake and like, yeah, we got you. Like, it should be documents. And if you did pay them, they're saying you didn't. You have receipts saying, here's a receipt. This is the statement saying that we paid them. You know what I mean? Like, it's like there's or he said type stuff, but there's nothing on paper. There's no contract. There's no receipts. So if I'm giving somebody 50 G's, you best believe I got a receipt stating. You get a receipt when you go to the store. You know what? Let me get a receipt. Let me get a receipt. Yeah. Yeah. It's a receipt. Pay me 50 G's. Whatever. Show proof that, yeah, I did pay. Go in the court of law. It's paid. Receipt. Bank statements. It says that. Whatever. I would think that, but for some reason, all these stories I read about and talked about on the show, when it comes to money, there's no paper trail at all. And I find that kind of weird in this industry. I really, really do. I don't get it. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe because I'm not neck deep or knee deep in it. I don't know. I just find that really, really weird that there's no paper trail for that. That's very weird. Very weird. But what is not weird is that I'll be back here next week here on Riverside.fm on NYPA Entertainment Radio. And remember, as always, like I said, on YouTube, press the subscribe button. It's free. Subscribe, let you give you notifications. I'm on Spotify. You can listen, watch and or listen, watch and listen. It's up to you because I know people are driving, some people are working out, some people cleaning their homes. So you just might want the audio version. And coming soon, I will start expanding the show a little bit more. I might gradually do an hour and a half, then go 2 hours or whatever. So right now I'm just doing an hour, but I will start expanding more and more. And like I said, as the show comes to a close this year, the final season of NYP Entertainment Radio in September, I will celebrate the 15th season because I can't go past September Stay 14. It will. This is the final season all the way through. So in September, I will acknowledge we're going to the 15th season. It's still the final season. Um, and I'm only doing that because I had a lot of breaks in between. But it definitely will be celebrating 15 years in September as I am just closing it out slowly of NYP Entertainment Radio. Um, and start Who is Kyle Graham in 2026. So I do want to end NYP Entertainment Radio with a bang, the best way possible. Finish the series on my own accord and do it my way as I'm winding things down. But it will be the final season, and I'm trying to get some surprises in and so forth. See what I can do. And that's about it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and boys and small dogs that bark in the morning when people are trying to sleep. Enjoy your week. Enjoy your week. Stay positive. Believe whatever higher power you believe in. And mothers, again, enjoy your Mother's Day. Fathers, we got our day coming up. And man, look, don't take no shit when it comes to Father's Day. Don't just let a bit of waka hoo be your gift. You put your foot down and like, look, I want to watch on a game console. I like sports. Take me to a sporting event. Give me whatever. They want balloons and flowers and sparkly things, and you want balloons and flowers and sparkly things. Ain't nothing wrong with a man wanting some flowers and getting balloons and to celebrate what a great job you're doing as a parent, because we work hard. A lot of our men out there, single or not, there's a lot of good men I know who bust their ass every day to provide for their family, provide for their kids, and be very instrumental in their kids' life. This ain't the old Stone Age days when you think the guy, hey, I'm going to the store for cigarettes and never come back. No, there's women that's doing that now, but there's a lot of men who are stepping into place who's doing with the stepfathers, uncles, boyfriends, stepfathers, guardians, or whatever. They're filling that role and they're doing their part. And they need to be acknowledged in the month of June. You gotta acknowledge them, because I acknowledge them because I'm a father myself. So if you want to do one, like I always say, you do one for one, you gotta do for the other. Do it this one, do it for that one. I think that. And always remember, gentlemen, when a woman walk up with that crap about you just being a brother because you're a good dude, just remember, you stop them and say, sorry, ladies, I'm already like a brother to someone else, and tell her to kick rocks, touch the grass, agitate the gravity, whatever they want to do. Like my daughter said, touch grass, whatever. We ain't got time for that. Stop them at the door. Kick them down the road. Take that nonsense somewhere else. We ain't got time. We're already brothers to someone else. We're already brothers to a lot of others. So don't take no crap. All right, that's my time. Again, be safe. I hope you enjoyed my hour of being stupid and being silly. Everyone, Lord willing, I will see you next week for another edition of NY Entertainment Radio. Now, normally, like I said before, I can't play the outro anymore because it's a sample. Everybody being strict on sample nowadays. And YouTube like, hey, Evelyn Champagne King on the show is over. You can't play that. So fade to black. You see the logo, you hear the applause, and then that's it. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, have a great week. Be happy. Stay safe. NYPA Entertainment Radio. I'm do it again.